The fact that a constitutional functionary like the governor of Bengal, he has to go out, come out and speak clearly shows the situation on the ground is absolutely serious when it comes to law and order. And the details that are coming, this man Shahjahan Sheikh, the Trinamool functionary of 24 Parganas, seems to be having very clear criminal connections, because remember, the manner in which this attack has panned out, the mobilization of mob itself could not have happened without an element of planning. And Shravan would have more antecedents perhaps of those involved in this PDS scam, the Atta Chawal scam as it can be called, because remember, the atta meant for the poor has been siphoned off, and the paddy meant for the poor, and the wheat, the rice meant for the poor has been siphoned off. And the Trinamool functionaries have had an element of patronage. There is a connection coming out between proceeds of crime out of the scam and these Trinamool leaders, including one who's in judicial custody, two in fact who are in judicial custody, and the manner in which the mob attacked the ED team. Now remember, someone like a Santanu Sen or the Trinamool Congress is saying that, oh, the mob was provoked. Now ED is doing its job. They needed a CRPF protection. It speaks volumes of the kind of law and order situation that is there in Bengal. The fact that Bengal governor has to come out and speak, I think the matter is serious, and even the central government would be taking note of it. We have to see whether they are going to be, picking it up only at political level, or say, for example, the Ministry of Home Affairs asking the Bengal government for a report, if not directly from the Bengal government, then maybe through the governor's office, a report on the law and order situation, because these pictures clearly speak of mobilization, and that could not have happened without pre-planning. And I'm told there is a rally happening where the BJP is sort of picking it up politically. But then, as I said, this is beyond political samiksha, and this is about gaming a system first, creating a scam, siphoning off wheat, rice, atta, flour meant for the poor, and to make money out of it through arbitrage, because PDS system gives you subsidized rice, wheat, atta, flour, etc. And then to attack investigation agencies when they come knocking to check the facts on the ground. So I think this is a serious issue, and the Trinamool linkages are really sharp and clear, and we have to see more responsible comments coming from the Trinamool leadership beyond what Santanu Sen has said, that the mob attacked the ED because the ED officers provoked. 4 or 5 ED officers accompanied by 15 or 20 CRPF men. They were not there to provoke. They were there to question Shahjahan, who locked himself inside, did not receive any phone calls of the Enforcement Directorate team, and instead mobilized this mob so that the ED team could be intimidated, attacked, injured, and at least one officer, I am told, is serious. And let's see if this goes beyond the governor making a statement, because even that itself is serious, and the government, perhaps the Bengal government, would take note of the fact that a constitutional functionary has to come out and make a statement. But I think what is important is that in this instance, the Bengal government has been really caught indulging with these hooligans who have created a law and order situation. And ultimately, law and order being a state subject, the responsibility rests with the Home Minister, obviously, in this case, the Chief Minister as well, Mamata Banerjee. And we expect more responsible statements coming in from Trinamool leadership beyond what Santanu Sen has said till now.
Right. Abhishek, stay with us. Let's go across to Shravan also, who has more details. Shravan, from the latest that we are learning is that the ED headquarters has received a report from the West Bengal unit. A consolidated report, as we understand, will be submitted after searches are completed. Anything we are learning as to what this report entails, which the Bengal BJP unit has apparently submitted to the ED headquarters?
Well, Sabiksha, not very clear at this point in time. What exactly has the Bharatiya Janata Party really put out? In all likelihood, it's, that report is not going to go to the Enforcement Directorate, because the Enforcement Directorate would certainly stay away from any sort of political connections at this point in time, and that does not really come into the protocol. But having said that, the two-page report that has been accessed by Republic TV is the preliminary incident report that has been prepared by the Bengal unit, which basically includes the officers who were present at the spot, and this was actually submitted to the special director who's based out of Kolkata. Having said that, the full consolidated report would only be submitted to the national headquarters here sometime later in the evening, because when I spoke to my sources in Bengal, they essentially indicated that the searches are still underway. So let me just quickly take you through the two-page report that has been accessed. The second page is largely dealing with the incident that actually took place. What they're saying is that Jyotipriya Malik actually had several associates, and these associates were the ones who were basically running this entire scam, which included Bakibur Rahman, who's already been placed under arrest. But having said that, there are several others who are largely looking into areas that came under the scanner of the Enforcement Directorate as the investigation actually progressed. It turns out that as far as the Sundarban area is concerned, that is an area that was largely being controlled by Trinamool Congress convener Shah Jahan. Now, Shah Jahan was the one who had access to the paddy procurement that is essentially done by the government. There is an MSP that is looked into, and the government also pays the farmers on the basis of which. It turns out that fake bank accounts were created, money was being siphoned off, and also part of the PDS system, as Abhishek was also pointing out, the wheat distribution that actually takes place, substandard quality of product was actually being distributed. The better items were being siphoned off, and this was being sold off in open market. Now, what turns out is, as far as this case is, as far as today's incident goes, the planning essentially was a total of about 17 locations. Not only Shahjahan, that's the Trinamool Congress convener. It turns out that Bongao's municipality person was also under the scanner. In fact, the person is still being raided as we speak right now. That's the vice chairman of the municipality who's been raided. Now, with regards to what really happened this morning when the Enforcement Directorate actually reached, according to the Enforcement Directorate in the incident report, they say that the moment they reached the residence of Shah Jahan, a call was actually made to the Trinamool Congress convener. When the call was made, he disconnected the line and thereafter started making multiple calls. These calls went to those who have been associated with the party workers who were actually present, and the party workers thereafter arranged a mob of roughly about 1,000 to 2,000 people. Now, this is purely what the Enforcement Directorate is claiming in that report that has been prepared. Now, soon after that, it turns out that the Enforcement Directorate came under attack. There was stone pelting that took place, resulting at least in 3 officers who have been injured. At least few of them have been taken to the hospital in Kolkata for further